project. Hello. I don't know if this one's connected here. Hey, how's it going? So today we have a project that we are connecting to Unity, and I had a dream about this the other day, or I was just thinking about it, or whatever. That was I would like to build a game that interacts with real world objects. I thought if you can change game information across a server, such as leaderboard or whatever, then you should be able to technically use a device that picks up on that and does things according to the changes made. So we are making a very simple adjusting change to a light on a IoT connected device through the internet. We will apply a function of buttons. But right now, as you can see, we have a lot of documentation to go through. This documentation here provides all of the necessary instructions to implement these changes into the game environment. I used AI to assist me in developing all of this stuff out because by myself it'll take me many weeks, but I've decided I wanted to get this done in a weekend. So right now we are creating this hierarchy of game objects to implement this functionality, and what we have done so far is we have resolved an error by implementing a part that I missed earlier in this instructions. So that's fine. Okay, next part is we gotta find the XR hand tracking things. But first, we will resolve those issues later. Right now, I have a coffee that needs to be made. But right now we are just attaching a couple things. The script cannot be found. What happened to the script now? We are not going to get frustrated. We will push on. We will work. We will make it. The script is here. Perfect. And even better, yes, it has all the necessary plugins. We are going to add this to this. Why can't? Why? Why can't we do this? It's saying that we can't add this to this. This. Okay, so what is wrong with it? No mono behavior scripts in this file. Oh, nice. Okay. We have an actual issue with the file. We'll go back in here. Apparently the name doesn't match up. But it is the same name. Weird. Okay, we're gonna. How do I resolve this issue? Because I imported the code from a different device because I was working on that device. The device that I'm using for game development does not have the proper connections to the same AI workload. Oh, wait, it has its own. Maybe I could use that instead. We're gonna connect it to another monitor and get this set up with a debugger. Get this code going. Boom, boom, boom. We're gonna delete all this stuff that we've been working on before. Don't need it. Okay. We're gonna look at the other code. Okay, so I'm gonna hit save. I want to save and exit so bad. Okay, so the error says can't add script component because the script class cannot be found. Make sure that there are no compile errors and that the file name and class name match. They do. They actually do. Um, Here's another issue, right? Is that we have added this folder that should have working code of everything that we are worrying about. What is everything? Scripts. Okay. Broker settings, and then there's the Unity client. What if we theoretically just used what we already have and attached that to, say, this? The script class cannot be found. I don't understand. Why is it not working? If you're supposed to add code to the thing in order for it to work, why will it not work? Right? It does not make my brain sense. Project settings. I'm going to use another approach. This is going to be called the Grok on my phone ask and ye shall receive approach. I'd like to use the M2MQTT Unity package in my project. Can you give me instructions to implement this package into my my Unity environment? Okay, there's other bugs that I have to figure out later. For now, we've asked the question. We'll let it work. We'll come back, and I'm gonna go make coffee. So I'll be back. coffee, and I think I'm gonna attempt something that I learned about a long time ago. It's called a Pomodoro. It's the tomato method. So basically, what we're gonna do is set a timer for 45 minutes. Once that 45 minutes is up, we will take a 15-minute break. Upon that 15-minute break, I'm going to reward myself with something else. A little change up in things, such as eating a nice and lovely steak. I can't let them go bad, so I gotta eat them. Not a 15-minute timer. I'm thinking about food. That is going to be the motivator. Okay, 45 minutes, and we start now. Here's the purpose of this. We will do as much work concentrated on this project as we possibly can in this time span. And that is it. That's the plan. Okay. So we're going to get back into our project, and right now I'm going to use Grok. Right now I implied a inquiry. To install and implement, good. Prerequisites, good. Broker, good. Okay. So, here's the thing about this. I can go here into the M2M QTT Unity, and I'm pretty sure I just overcomplicated things yesterday, and what I should have done is just gone into here and put an example scene into it. But the problem is that I don't want the parts, I don't want the whole example scene, right? I just want the XR here. Let's check this one out. This is an entire scene. We're gonna blot out everything else, the scene in itself, and then we're going to zoom in here. We have this XR system, and it has a test UI, canvas. However, what is going on? Okay, so it has the script. It has the test script. Good. Okay. Here's the canvas. Good. Good. I believe what will happen is when I'm set into this. Okay. So the camera is confined to the thing itself. That was the issue I had before, was that you're staring directly at a page. No matter which direction you look, the page is right in front of you. What I would like to do here is basically run through this tutorial that I asked it to make, and we're running out of time. We are going to use package manager. No. Verify import. Test scene called test, which you can use to verify functionality. Okay, that's not the very most important thing. I know that it works, but set up the test scene, optional for testing. Okay. Figure the MQTT broker. Okay, so that would be yeah, that's the component right there. It's just a component that has a script. I don't know why I'm making such a big deal out of it. It's within the test UI. The test UI is all that is needed, right? Event system. I don't know if okay. We are going to take. We're gonna take these and we're gonna move them. We're not gonna move anything. I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Trying to figure this out, but I also don't want to mess it up like I've done in the last two examples or tests or whatever. Why does my thumb hurt? CUI with input fields, buttons for connecting, subscribing, and publishing. Connect to the broker. Good. Click the connect button. Good. Okay, so oh, exactly once. Oh, automatically subscribe. Okay, modify the script under subscribe topics method. Publish a test method. Test publish button in the UI to publish a test message to the topic. Okay. The script uses the following code to publish. Okay, I don't think I need it. Verify message reception. Okay. The reason why this is confusing. Okay, we're just gonna go off road right now. We're going off road. We're probably gonna close this window a little bit so it's not blowing into my coffee all the time. We'll open it up a little bit too. Get some sun in here. Ah, I feel like I'm in a cave. Okay. I need this and this. I need this to be moved over to this. In here. Boom. Just like that, I'm a genius. It's so dumb. Okay, so we're gonna turn this off and we're gonna turn that back on. Okay, so now we have effectively made a screen in front of ourselves. That's a huge freaking scene. We're gonna put this like whatever. We're gonna not do anything with that. We can now I don't know how this is going to be, so I'm gonna save and I'm going to okay, this might be a good idea, this might not be a good idea. I'm gonna save, build and run. Theoretically, what I'm assuming is that the camera now looks at different things. I think the next bit of stuff that I'm going to have to do is make controllers that interact with the menu. And then figure out a keyboard option so that I can input stuff. I wonder if it'd be easier. Hey, bud. To just have like a button. Like if I press a button, then it sends a message. we're gonna build a working, functioning thing that when we want to test out the device and build out the functionality of the device itself, we have the full pliability of using the same software that we built with the VR headset without having to change it. So that's the point. We're gonna do that, and then once we built the device with all its functionality, how we want it to be, we'll refine all those controls so that it's easier to use within the environment. Okay, so we need to what? Error building player because scripts have compiled errors in editor. Oh my god! These are the errors. How do I deal with these errors? XR hand tracking acquired event arguments. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT. I don't care. Or Grok, I guess. Yo, how's it going? I have an issue with Unity right now. I've got an error that I'm trying to resolve. The typer namespace called XR hand tracking acquired event arguments does not could not be found. So I'm trying to resolve these issues so that I can build and run it on my device.
Oh, that can be frustrating. The error about the type or namespace name XR hand tracking could not be found usually means Unity can't locate the XR hand tracking class or its namespace, likely due to missing packages, incorrect imports, or platform-specific issues. Since you're trying to build and run on a device, let's walk through how to fix this step-by-step for your Unity XR project. Step-by-step troubleshooting for XR hand tracking error. 1. Verify XR packages installation. The XR hand tracking class is likely part of Unity's XR interaction toolkit, or a specific XR provider, like Oculus Integration or OpenXR. Open the Package Manager, Window, Package Manager, and check for these packages. XR Interaction Toolkit, command.unity.xr.interaction.toolkit. XR Plugin Management, command.unity.xr.management. Oculus XR Plugin, or OpenXR Plugin, depending on your target device. If missing, install them by selecting Unity Registry in the Package Manager, searching for these packages, and clicking Install, for example, XR.
XR hand tracking.
Interaction Toolkit often includes hand tracking support. Make sure you have at least version 2.0 or higher installed, as older versions might not include XR hand tracking. 2. Check namespace imports. The XR hand tracking class is typically in a namespace like unity.xr.interaction.toolkit or unity.xr.hands. Open your script and ensure you have the correct using directive at the top. For example, using unity.xr.interaction.toolkit, using unity.xr hands, land for newer hand tracking APIs. Set. If you're unsure which namespace XR hand tracking belongs to, check Unity's documentation or the package's API reference, e.g. https docs unity3d.com packages command.unity.xr.interaction.toolkit at latest. If you're using a custom or third-party package, e.g. Oculus Integration, it might use a different namespace, like oculus.interaction. 3. Confirm project settings for XR. Go to Edit, Project Settings, XR Plugin Management. Ensure the correct plugin is enabled for your target platform, e.g. Oculus for Quest, OpenXR for cross-platform. For Oculus, install the Oculus XR plugin from the Package Manager and enable it under the Android tab, since you mentioned building to a device, likely a mobile XR headset. For OpenXR, ensure the hand tracking feature is enabled in the OpenXR settings. You might need to add the hand tracking feature under OpenXR Features. 4. Check build settings. Go to File, Build Settings. Ensure your platform is set to the correct target, e.g. Android for Oculus Quest or Windows for PC-based VR. In player settings, set scripting backend to IL2 CPP for Android builds. Ensure API compatibility level is set to .NET 4.x or .NET
I'm
Standard
having an
2.0.
issue now that I've installed the package manager XR Hands. I'm having an issue with the code again. It shows the same error, so I'm wondering if there's like some kind of internal code issue, or what could be the issue.
It's still showing the same error even after installing the XR Hands package? Let's dive in and troubleshoot why you're still getting the type or namespace name XR Hand Tracking could not be found error. This could be related to missing namespaces, misconfigured packages, or even a typo in the class name.
That's true.
Since you've installed the XR related package, let's systematically address potential issues to get your Unity project building and running on your device. Step-by-step troubleshooting for persistent XR hand tracking error. 1. Confirm the correct class name. The error suggests Unity can't find XR hand tracking. However, this might not be the exact class name, as Unity's hand tracking APIs have evolved. In recent versions, Unity 2020.3+, hand tracking is typically handled by classes in the unidirection.xr.hands namespace, like xrhand or xrhand subsystem, rather than xrhand tracking. Action. Open your script and check if you're using XR hand tracking explicitly. Search Unity.
There's another error, or not error, but there's another resolve for this issue, which is to delete the...
Sorry, you cut off there. You were saying there's another way to resolve.
The way that I can resolve it is just by deleting the script and adding it later if it is actually relevant. So I'm gonna just do that.
Oh, sometimes the simplest solutions work. If deleting the script and re-adding it later does the trick, that's a good call, especially if XR hand tracking isn't critical right now.
Yeah.
Let's walk through that approach to resolve the type or namespace name XR hand tracking could not be found error, and ensure your Unity project builds and runs smoothly on your device. I'll also include steps to verify if the script is relevant and how to re-add it correctly if needed. Step-by-step resolution. Step 1. Delete the problematic script. Locate the script. In the Unity editor, go to the project window and find the script for...
Okay, that's good. Now what? Now we go to save, and then we're gonna build and run, and then we're gonna see if it works. Make sure your device is plugged in. What? That's the thing? Okay. I just assumed that I have to like make the game, install the APK, and then test it out. I don't know if this is even gonna work. Let's see. Let's test it. Alright, headset is connected. We're gonna turn it on, and we're gonna hit build and run. So another thing that we can do to check this out and fix it is by launching the developer hub, the Quest link, going to the device, turning on the device, I think is part of it. Didn't turn on the first time. Oh, like it was turned off. Okay. Now that we have it turning on, we're good. Oh, cool. Adds the text into my conversation with Grok too. Alright. Perfect. Let's see. Build and run. Almost loaded. Come on, load. Busy for a minute? Seriously? We're gonna close this window. It is so frickin' windy out right now. It's either like wickedly windy or it's like wildly rainy. Wildly rainy. If you know what I mean. It's frickin' minute and a half till. Okay, well then maybe it's gonna be done now. It's copying the device thing. Cool. I want to sip my coffee, but I don't want to take the headset off without disconnecting everything that I'm building. Haha. Perfect. And I'm in VR. Made with Unity. Sweet. Okay, so we have broken the thing. I think. Right? No, yeah, we have. There's the. I can't interact with anything. This is making me frustrated. Okay, so I can look around. I guess there's some kind of problem here with the whole thing. Okay, so we have the event system. Do we have multiple event systems? Is that why it's not working properly? Yeah. We're gonna delete this event system because it's probably not important. Test UI. That can probably stay. I don't know what that is. World space canvas with no specified event camera may not register UI events correctly. Okay. Event camera. We're going to add the one from here. Okay, so keep vertex color in gamma space to allow gamma to linear color space conversion to happen in UI shaders. Cool. We're just gonna do that. Next, what else? Additional. indicator stuff. I don't really need that. Okay, so this should allow me to look around, which is kind of useful. Okay. So there are things. Does that change everything to work properly? I deleted the event system, and what else? I changed the camera event thingy to be the camera thingy. I'm trying to build like basically an iPad in the virtual reality that you can interface with these devices in real life. Is that so hard to ask for? It kind of is, seeming like it. How much time do we have left? 20 minutes left. We have 20 minutes left. We have 20 minutes left. We have to get as much as we possibly can get done. Okay, so let's put on a headset. Let's get into testing. Alright. What happened? Frick. Okay. Resume. Okay. We're gonna quit this. Out. Quit. Okay. Now, we're gonna push and run. We're gonna see if it works. And if it doesn't...
Sounds like you're testing something.
Yeah.
Let me know if you need assistance.
Thanks. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Cool. I have AI everywhere. It's in my freaking headset. It's in my phone. It's in my computer. It's everywhere. Haha. Copying APK. Cool. Let's get at her. Let's get at her. Come on. There we go. Okay. Another idea that I have towards this is that perhaps I'm not using the... Whoa. Okay, so it crashed. I think is what's happening. For some reason, as soon as I... As soon as I launch into it, the screen freezes and stops working. So I'm gonna go to settings here, and I'm going to change something, and maybe that will help stuff. Maybe it won't. Player. Under active input, we're gonna set it to both. Because yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to watch a YouTube tutorial on this pretty soon, because I have been trying to get this to work, but it's very difficult. And I think one of the best things about this whole vibe coding and whatever is that there are pieces of information that other people have built that actually do work, and then there's the stuff where it speculates it could work, and those are very different things. So reloading domain, everything's loading. Cool. Input manager is a legacy feature and not recommended for new projects. For new projects, you should use input system package. Yeah, I'm using both. I don't get why it doesn't properly work, though. What's this? Okay. Let's see. Canvas. Can we interact with the canvas properly? It's UI layer. screen space overlay world space. It's in the world space. Good. Event camera, which the events are triggered through. This is used to determine clicking and hover positions if the canvas is in world space render mode. Okay. I'm just kind of trying to figure this out without having to do all these other things. I'm gonna just build and run. Okay, maybe that works. Coffee. My speculation is that the old program that I'm using is based on the old input stuff, and so yeah. Let's see how this works. Okay, batteries are low. Okay. I may make one or maybe two steaks. Maybe two. I might make it on the burner and the grill. Ooh. Ooh. That might be good. Okay, almost there. Copying APK. Let's go, 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 let's go. Perfect. Okay, let's go into the world of the virtual. Okay, made with Unity, starts up, freezes. Okay. I'm setting it down. Okay. That doesn't work. Let's see what YouTube has to offer for solutions. I'll just get my screen up. YouTube VR portal. Okay, cool. How did you do that? We're gonna freaking how to use M2MQTT Unity, or maybe MQTT is just a technology name in Unity. I don't need it in Hindi, I just need it in Unity. Oh my goodness. We're gonna go like that. We got a couple of videos here. We're gonna look into that in a minute. IoT and augmented reality. Oh, fucking perfect. Somebody made it. I'm burning is the point of this? Okay, so could I or should I make a version that is in the game environment that may work differently? I don't know. I'm gonna save this. I'm gonna save this. I'm going to exit it. And then I'm gonna exit all the other stuff here. Fine. Done. Okay. I'm gonna close my laptop. We are no longer working on that. For the remaining time that I have with this time right now, we're going to figure out exactly what we're going to do moving forward. Are we going to use the example of other people's builds and it works properly, or are we going to build a website based one so that you just have to open up the URL and then just freaking work with it in there? Let's see what we can do with this.
So I have my ship hooked up through MQTT. So I can actually give a command through the MQTT system and it can move my ship forward and backwards. And I can actually change the scale of it so it moves quicker. So not much, but it's a start using MQTT for controlling objects in the game. One thing I did have to do is with the script, I had to do it indirectly, so I had to, I'll zoom in, not that one. So I had to make it apply it to a parameter, like a property on the ship object, which is called cube. That's parameter. So I had to, I'll zoom in, not that one. So I had to make it apply it to a parameter, like a property on the ship object, which is called cube. That's just because I created it and called it cube because it was a cube. And then when that one does an update, it checks to see if there's a translation it needs to perform. Because the problem was that I was getting, it was operating this MQTT thing when it does the get receive event. That's in a separate thread and it can't operate on the main thread. So yeah, you need to like just store it in a variable on the object that you want to do something to, and then on that object, yeah, just check it and do it during its update event, and then just obviously not forgetting to zero it out, so that to show that you've already done that. Anyway, I thought that was interesting, and I thought it'd be useful for you guys to know.
This package gives you an easy way to access MQTT as a client from Unity, so all what you have to do is drag and drop the prefab to your scene. Here we set the host and the port. Optionally, you can decide if you want to use WebSocket or not. If you want to have encryption, you just can use this TLS checkbox. You can also define if you want to allow untrusted certificates. Optionally, you can set a username and password. There's also an automatic reconnect. If the connection to MQTT gets lost, then it will automatically reconnect and resubscribe the topics. Here we have the topics to which you want to subscribe. You can give a list of topics with wildcards and you can define the quality of service for the subscription. And here we have the status, if the connection should be opened at startup and if it is currently connected. And here we have a reconnect timer, in the case the reconnect is needed. Then we have here Unity events for connection up and connection down. You can add here a custom function to react on this events. And most important, if messages arrive, then you can add here a function where you can react on the incoming messages and do whatever you want to do. Of course you can publish data. The MQTT component has a publish function, which is very easy to use. Just give the topic in the payload. Payload can be a string or a bytes. Here we have a simple demo of it, where we have a cube and some sliders. The sliders are publishing data to the MQTT broker. On the left side we can set the position, on the right side the rotation. And the cube itself is connected to the arriving messages and will transform to reflect the values of the incoming messages. We see here now this application running 2 times. These are really two separate running programs, two separate instances of this program. But both are connected to the same central MQTT broker, which can be in the cloud or can run locally. When I now change the values of the topics, then you see both cubes are moving in both applications, because they are connected to the same central MQTT broker. Same can be done with the rotation. That can be achieved very easily with this package. Just drag and drop the prefab to your scene, set the MQTT broker connection, and then you are ready to subscribe and publish data to MQTT. Just drag.
Okay, I'm going to use this as an example. This is a really good example. It's very clear, cut, and basic. So he has a hand tracker that relays information to does it get sent over Wi-Fi? If it is, then the connected are connected to the lights, and connected to an IoT device, and then he uses some kind of interface that tracks the hand movement into Unity, and then it relays information to the device. Controller, that's what he built. Public override. They use this too. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's cool. The last freaking okay, let's go. Let's just keep going. Let's just keep moving on. That was really cool. That was really cool. Subscribe. That was really cool. 9 years ago, and that guy was using MQTT 9 years ago. This technology has been around for over a decade now. This should be easy. This should be common sense. This should be like second nature. Why is it so difficult? Okay. So the practice in which that I will continue along will be as such. I will build a I need to do way more tutorials with VR to make sure that it works properly. As for today, I think the best approach would be to recreate what this guy has here, but instead of relaying it to a block movement, it would be relaying to the device turning the light on and off. So we are going to recreate what this guy has. We're going to just do it for the computer, and we are going to port it over to VR after we have a working model and we do some more tutorials with the headset. VR tutorial. Oh I have a better approach to it. New project. Let's use the old version. Let's go with LTS, I guess. I don't know. 3D built. I just need a 2D built-in render pipeline. Windows version of MQ QTT OT OT interface. Let's see what happens. No valid Unity editor license found. Dude, are you kidding me? Free personal use one, dude. Shut the fuck up and just keep working. Why do I have to renew this like every... Oh. It was like 5 years old. No wonder. Oh, fuck. I just tried to make a... Whatever, move on. Windows MQTT IoT controller. Whatever. Let's just go. Let's just move. Let's just go. Let's just get this done. M to MQTT Unity VR. Oh, we should have took it by step, you know, because like I have the IoT device working with my computer. That's not a problem. That was day one. That was yesterday. That was somewhat easy-ish to do. Next part should have been to connect it through a game environment. Then, and only then, can we move forward to the headset, making sure that it works on more than just the Windows platform. Ender timer is up. So now that we have a blank slate that we can work with, I will be making steak. And yeah, I don't know. I'm probably not even gonna make it on the frickin' grill like I was thinking. Just okay. Let's just get to work. Let's just get to work. Drink my coffee. I'll make another one. And yeah, so we're recreating that on here. Okay. We need MQTT. How do we get MQTT in here? I'm going to ask that right now. How do I get MQTT into my Unity environment? It might just be the same as the other one, because I was using M2MQTT. M2MQTT. Prepare. Oh, I kind of missed the first step too. Okay. We're just gonna add this here. Documentation. Unity master. This one. Where's my assets? Cool. Add this into here. There's a texture. Okay, this is a little bit easier. Okay, so this one is the M2 and default asset unity. Why is there a difference? Why is there a difference? What is the point of the difference? Where is it? What does it mean? Ow! Dude, what are you doing? Why you poke me like that, bro? Bro. Okay. I'm gonna stop streaming and I'll come back after I've freaking